Hi everybody, Ray Swirsky here. Today's should have been a special day. I should have been down at the Calgary Exhibition in Stampede putting the final touches on my booth for a very, very big art show. But due to cancellation of large events, instead here I am talking to you. So I decided to use the opportunity to invite you into my studio, into my home, where I can show you many of the pieces that I've worked on over the last year. So I'll give you a little bit of insights, a little bit of background on many of the pieces. So come with me. First piece I want to talk about is Takaka Falls. That's the 24 by 60 on the left there. This is done completely with palette knife, something I don't do very often on large paintings, but the effect was stunning. I just love this piece. Over here on the right we have Bear Bums. It's a 40 by 60 oil on canvas. I've done two smaller versions of the same painting, but the colors in this one keep drawing me back. I just love the colors in this. It's so warm, wonderful. Emerald Lake, it's a 30 by 30. I love the colors at Emerald Lake, and I painted Emerald Lake about 3 times. I'll probably do it again. It's just so rich with so many different colors out there to paint. This piece is a 36 by 48 polar bear in a snowstorm, made of chromatic whites, which are colors of layers of white mixed with some transparent colors. What's unique is the colors seem to pop out the more you stare at this piece. This piece here is a 36 by 48 titled The Boss. It's a buffalo from the Rocky Mountain Buffalo Ranch up in Golden, BC. I painted a number of the bison from that buffalo ranch up there, and I'll probably paint a lot more. This 40 by 60 oil was created from photos I took from a storm that we had in Calgary last fall. The challenge with this piece was trying to get the horizon right, because my photographs were all overexposed on the horizon. And the difficulty was trying to get that depth in there that you do see now, trying to get that right horizon level. And then I added the barn in there actually to give some reference as far as how big the clouds were and the distance of the mountains away. I think it worked very well. Now this piece here is also another 40 by 60. It's an oil. This piece I created, tried to do something a little bit different, a little bit more simple. Only the bison in the painting, with they're fading into the background there like they're coming through the snow coming home. Now this one is a 40 by 60. The Bridge Walker is the title of this piece. I chose this one because I really like the atmosphere of the evening across the Badlands there. A fun piece to create. This piece here is a 30 by 30. It is a typical scene that you see in Alberta with the thunderstorms in the evening. This particular one was out by Oyen near the Saskatchewan border. This bear cubs, it's a 30 by 60. The 2 bear cubs up by Jasper National Park. Loved painting this one. The photo reference for this one was from a photographer from the UK, Kai Priestley, who spends his summers in Alberta, BC, taking photographs all summer. I just love the expression on these bears' faces as they're, and it speaks of youth and springtime, and it's a happy piece. I stumbled across this old truck out by Lundbrick Falls in Crow's Nest Pass. Just seeing it sitting there is just something I had to paint. Now this piece called Le Cal it's actually an older piece, but it's one I've kept around because I really like the colors, how this one turned out. Midday sun coming down, almost striking side of the building coming down. It gives it really unique colors in there in the middle of the day, and this just speaks of street life in Mexico. I stumbled across this old schoolhouse, at least that's what I thought it was, on the way out to Longview as I was heading out into BC one day. I took some photos, and when I created this piece, I strayed a long ways away from the original photo, just trying to put more colors into clouds, and just played with this one a little bit, had fun with it. Now this piece is a 36 by 36. What I liked about doing this one was trying to get that feel of a smoky sunset with all those clouds. You get those colors coming through, and they sort of populate right across the land. Fun one to do. Now this one here is a 36 by 48. It's titled Unbroken, and that title comes from just that ridge of snow that those three beautiful bisons are standing upon. It's unbroken snow, and I just thought that was fitting for the wildness of these guys. Again, this is another one from the BC mountains up by Golden, BC. Now this piece here is a 16 by 20 oil. It's done more of a study, trying to work at the clouds and a bison in the dark, stormy clouds. We got some light coming through there. It was kind of a fun one to do, challenging, just to more of a study. I might do something like this on a much larger piece. I do a number of small pieces, 9 by 12s, 11 by 14s, more study pieces for larger paintings and to try new things, to new techniques, new lighting. You'll see a lot of that kind of stuff in what I do. Variety of stuff. When I do the small studies, I'm always looking for a variance in light and contrast. Working on colors and values, trying to get depth into the paintings. You'll see that in some of my landscapes. So I'm trying to push that background. Some of the stuff is just working the color values, just trying to get better at this. On the left, we have the 30 by 30 titled The Three Sisters. I put 3 deer in the front as a play on the name, the 3 mountain peaks and the 3 deer. Working on just light and value in this piece. Just a different take. I also do some abstract small studies, more figurative type of stuff. It's fun to do. These are quite enjoyable, and I get to play with light and my palette knife and different techniques. I also have some number of pieces out in Bragg Creek at the MLA's office on loan right now, just to fill their office up. This large one here is a 48 by 48 oil. I just love the composition in this. The bison crossing that misty creek in the early morning. It's just had a lot of elements in it that I really enjoyed working through to get that piece complete. This 36 by 48 is of Sunburst Peak at Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park. That's Mount Assiniboine in the back and Sunburst Peak in the front. This one had a lot of elements up in the mountains, the trees, a lot of things to work with on this, so it was quite interesting working my way through this one. Now the last piece I have to share is this 30 by 60 oil. It's currently on display at the Painted Moose Gallery in Bragg Creek. The composition of this piece I worked on for a while, made up of a number of different photos of that area. This is again in the Rocky Mountain Buffalo Ranch by Golden, BC. I'm always creating something new, so every once in a while it's nice to get that frame in, mount that painting and put it on the wall and see what it looks like. And that's the most exciting part for me, is when I have it framed, I have it on the wall, and I know I'm done with it and I'm ready to move on to the next piece. And it's nice to see these on the walls for a while. Some stay longer than others, some don't, some disappear even before I get them on the wall, barely in a frame. So that's the exciting part for me, is to see these paintings once they're created and framed, and to see them go out to customers' homes. So I'd really like to thank you all for taking the time to watch my little video here, getting a little bit of an insight into what it is I do as an artist, and see how I work, see my work environment. It's been a pleasure. So thank you all for joining me, and hopefully you can see another video coming up sometime soon. My work is available on my website at www.reswirsky.com. I do home shows. I'm also at the Painted Moose Gallery in Bragg Creek, Alberta. So thank you all.